relationships have an impact on your ability to make behavior change? Do relationships have an influence on your wellness? That's the topic. Couple key things as you read the chapter is to pay attention to how your viewpoint of how things happen to you influence your ability to maintain a positive and happy life. And you'll do an optimism test, and that's really quite fun. It'll give you an opportunity to see how you view things. Optimism is something that you can change. It's something that you can develop, and it's not a character defect or flaw, and I want to encourage you to recognize that as you do that reflection on that assessment. So is there a time when you felt you were in an uncontrolled situation? And I guarantee there is a time. There are three ways to look at the cause. One is it stable? And that means, is it something that's going to last forever? And this is a cause that is going to influence everything. And this is one of the ways that a person is developing helplessness, right? I have no choice. I have no say. I'm helpless. Global is the cause is going to affect everything rather than something specific like the circumstance. That is more general rather than specific helplessness. Internal is that the cause of that uncontrollable situation is yourself or me rather than some external cause. That results in helplessness and poor self-esteem. So think about this, an uncontrolled situation. How do you look at the cause? Do you look at it as it's going to impact everything or a specific thing, or it's me, I'm the cause of it? And this is an uncontrolled situation. The way to look at learned helplessness is that we look at expecting failure and everything is a negative. It's almost as if somebody is out to get you, or no matter what I do, everything bad is going to happen to me. Now, the field of positive psychology studies that we can influence the way that we evaluate, think about what happens to us and our outlook in life. We can change that and alter the way that we look at how things happen to us. So there are ways to think positively and help to be able to have a better sense of self and better self-esteem. We know that one of the components of positive psychology is optimism. And optimisms, when they're optimists, when they are faced with something that is negative, they see it as a challenge. They don't blame themselves. They don't look at it as a personal character failure, but they look at it as a way to improve, to a way to deal with problems and not take it on as a, it's just not outside of me. We look at it in a way that we can challenge and try harder. Optimism affects wellness by improving your immunity, the choices that you take to stay healthy, reduce the risk of bad negative events, and also develop or help to develop healthy relationships. The individuals that are optimistic, this helps you to develop these 7 traits and strengthen your ability to relate to others in a healthy way. So we have attention, connection, heartiness, healthy helping, self-complexity. These traits are what help us to have that immune power personality, and it helps us to stay healthy and happy. So when you're reading your chapter, take a look at that carefully and look at how your immune system is influenced or impacted when you have that better outlook. We also know that having a positive outlook is helpful. We want to understand our mind-body connection and try to eliminate those behaviors that bring tension to your life and embrace those that make you feel healthy and good in mind and body. When we have emotional resilience, we look for improving communication, showing empathy. We are able to be fully engaged in our life, in our activities. When people ignore the warning signs or intentionally mask them to expedite a quick fix and not look for the cause, we end up having problems. It's far more worthwhile to engage in your best thinking along with effective treatments to discover the cause and rid yourself of the difficulty so you can move on. How you believe makes all the difference. And finally, the section about communicating. When we communicate, we are giving people an inside look of what's going on inside of us. So think about how your tone, your body, your whether you're facing, whether you're making eye contact, listening, speaking, and using appropriate body language really does influence how we relate to others. So we have this communication with healthy listening. There is a mnemonic, which is healthy, which includes hugs, empathy, attention, listening, time, hear, and yield. And in this particular figure, you'll see that when you place, you ask first, physical touch can help reduce stress. Being able to have a communication and confide in someone that you feel safe with is confiding in others. Listening well, where you will not think about what you're going to say next, but you listen. Speaking, the way that you speak, whether it has a sharp tone, if it has a lift at the end of a sentence, if it has a non-accusatory tone to it, that's important. Using criticism in a way that is constructive, not saying when you do this or you're mean. Instead, it's identifying when you said those words to me, it was really hurtful. Conflict resolution is important, and we don't want to attack, but we want to alert someone to how we feel. And also, treating each other with mutual respect is that important part for genuineness in a relationship. And we'll finish up with part 2.